everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from 11th edition Warhammer 40,000 and the all-new Armageddon box. Yes, we are back once more with some more Space Marine action, and, well, I didn't hit record at the first time of trying to do this, which is why we've already started. So what we're talking about today is that we are painting the all-new Primaris Captain with Sword and Shield in the colours of the Crimson Fists. Yes, because Crimson Fists are really cool, and they're a very classic feature of Armageddon. So we're going to be painting up this guy as a Crimson Fist today, and a massive thank you goes out to Games Workshop for sending me this one early to build up and paint with all of you as part of the new Armageddon box. So he has been primed in Grey Seer, and the colour we're using currently, and first, is a roughly 2 parts Stormfiend to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. And we're going to be applying this over top of all of the blue armour of our Crimson Fist. And this is going to exclude basically the tilting plate, which we're going to do a different colour. And it's also going to include his hands, because he's a Crimson Fist. So we're just going to keep getting this over the top of all of this area. And once that's done, we're going to do it again. We're going to do 2 layers of this Stormfiend mix over the top of all the blue. So with 2 layers of that Stormfiend all applied, what we're now going to do is take some Black Legion. We're going to apply this over the top of a number of different details. So we're going to start by picking out all of the sort of gaps and soft joints in all the armour, like that one in there behind the leg. We're going to use this over the top of the pistol holster and over the top of the scabbard of this gladius here. We're going to apply this over top of the inside of the shield, and we're also going to apply this over top of the tilting plate, or the little heraldic shield thing jobby just up there. With all that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Flesh Tearers Red, and we're going to apply this over top of our captain's hands. We're going to apply this over top of the helmet plume as well. And what we're going to do is we're also going to do a quartering design on the front of the shield, which we'll get to in just a sec. So what we're going to do is down the middle of the shield, just here, we're going to do a little line across there, just to sort of mark this out, and then just above the parchment ending, we're going to do another little line going across like that. So this little square is going to be red, and then at the top here we want to do the same thing in the middle, like that, and then just under that bone there, like that. Then we're going to block in this corner as well. And with that all done, we are now going to take some Cygor Brown, and we're going to apply this over top of the grips of the swords and shield. We're also going to apply this over top of the tabard, and we're going to apply this over top of what little of the belt you can actually see. With that all done, as a amendment to our Black Legion area, or step, what we're going to do is we're also going to apply Black Legion to the outside of the cloak. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And it might seem a little bit early, but the reason being is that we've got a lot of silver to apply. And some of it is kind of, well, in and around some slightly dangerous areas. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply this Iron Warriors over a ton of these details. So we've got areas such as the Aquila on his chest. We've got the sword blade, naturally. We've got the sort of inner workings of the shield too. But what we also have is we have the bits of trim and such on the scabbard, the mechanical areas on the backpack, and his belt buckle. So with all that silver applied, we're now going to take some Nazdreg Yellow, and we're going to apply this over top of any rope. And there's two bits of rope. There's this bit here going across his chest plate, and there's a little bit of it hanging around the backpack, just there. And with that Nazdreg Yellow all applied, we're then going to take some Volupus Pink, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the wax seals on all of our Oaths of Moment. With that all done, we're then going to take some Skeleton Horde, and we're going to apply this over top of any and all parchment. There's some down here, for example, on the leg, some on the shield, and then there's an awful lot of oath papers. With that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour, and we're pretty much applying this over top of all of our remaining details except for the white bits, which is the remaining field of the shield, the inside of the cloak, and the wreath or the laurels around his head. With all of that Retributor Armour applied, we're now going to add some shades. The first of these is going to be some Soulblight Grey. And we're going to... So with all that Retributor Armour applied, we're now going to add some shades. And the first of these is going to be some Soulblight Grey. And we're going to apply this over top of our white details. So that's this remaining field of the shield, the inside of the cloak, and the laurels. With all that Soulblight Grey applied, we then take some Nuln Oil, and we're going to apply this over top of the silver and the black. And with that Nuln Oil all applied, we then take some Agrax Earthshade. We apply this over top of all of the gold. So with that all done, our Crimson Fists Primaris captain is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty good. However, we're now going to take him to the next level. We're going to do is by adding some layers and some highlights. Now the first of these is going to be a layer, and it's going to be more of a glaze corrective slash consistency type layer. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take some thinned down Kantor Blue. I'm going to thin it down with sort of roughly 4 or 5 parts water to 1 part Kantor Blue mix, and we're going to apply this over the top of the flats of the armor panels. Now if you don't need to do this, then great. This is, like I said, it's more of a kind of a corrective slash sort of consistency layer. It's not entirely necessary, because you might already have a really nice blue that you're already proud of. But for those of you who want to just make absolutely damn sure, this is the way to do it. So you just want to avoid all of the recesses, because those are nicely shaded at this point. You just want to hit these flat armor panels like this sort of thing. So with that all done, we now want to restore just a little bit of warmth to these guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Teclis Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the blue. So with all of that Teclis Blue applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Lothern Blue. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the sharpest corners in all of the blue. So with that all done, we are now going to take some thinned down Corax White, because we're going to move on from the blue. Should have said that before. Oh well. And what we're going to do with this Corax White is we're going to use this to relayer all of the white details, just avoiding where our Soulblight Grey has settled in the recesses. With all that Corax White applied, we're then going to take some thinned down White Scar. And we're going to use this to highlight all of those white details. With those white details all done, what we're now going to do is going to move on to the black details. And we're going to take some thinned down Eshin Grey for these. We use these to highlight the black areas. And with that Eshin Grey all applied, we then take a little bit of some thinned down Dawnstone. We use this to add some spot highlights to the sharpest points of all that black. With that all done, the next thing we're going to do is going to take a teensy tiny little bit of Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to apply this over top of our Captain's eye lenses. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Wild Rider Red. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our red details. With that all done, we're not quite finished with red, because what we are going to do is we're going to add a little checkerboard to this tilting plate just over here on this left-hand side. And what we're going to do for this is we're basically going to draw 2 tram lines going down this area. Like that. And then another one next to it. Coming straight down. And then we're going to go across. Like so. And then it's just a case of blocking in the ones we want. So we're going to start in the top left, and then we're going to alternate all the way down. So with our checkerboard now in place, what we can do is we can take some thinned down pink horror. We're going to use this to highlight all of our little purity seals. With our wax seals all highlighted, we're then going to highlight the parchment. I'm going to use some thinned down Screaming Skull to do exactly that. With that parchment all now highlighted, we're not going to do all the text and stuff on it now, we'll do that last. Instead what we're going to do next is we're going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. With all that Ironbreaker applied, we are then going to take just a little bit of some Flesh Tearer's red and we're going to apply this over the jewel on his belt buckle. So with that all done, we are now going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the gold details. And so to finish off our Crimson Fists Primaris Captain, what we're going to do next is we're going to take just a little bit of some Cygor Brown. I'm going to use this to add some text to all of our parchment. And there we have it. Our Crimson Fist captain is all finished. The base was done the same way we always do things. Black Templar for the rock, Skeleton Horde for the skull, and then Sterling Mud, Dry Brush for Tyrant Skull for the rest of it, with some tufts from Gamer's Grass, all to complete the look. And I think it's really, really cool. I like painting Crimson Fist. It's a really, really lovely dark tone of blue. It's very, very effective, and I love this new recipe for it. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.